In this demo video, I'm going to show you how you can use our CV formatting tool to generate branded CVs for you to forward on to the clients that you're working with. It's a common theme that I hear all the time where recruiters are saying one of the most time-consuming parts of their day is generating formatted CVs because they want to showcase to their clients their brand. They want to deliver the CVs in a professional manner, and they can spend hours fiddling around on Adobe or Word or whatever it is to try and get a CV together. In this demo video, I'm going to run you through how you can use our CV formatting tool inside of Giig to create branded CVs in a matter of seconds that you can then download and forward on to your clients. One of the common things we hear all the time from recruiters is that generating those formatted CVs can take time. You can spend hours fiddling around with Word or PDF or whatever it is to get the CV in a format that you think looks professional. So we've added this tool to Giig where you can go into the settings first of all, and you can create the format that matches your brand. So you can change and adjust the colors, the text, whether there's boxes around the experience, you can adjust where the sections are. You can make sure it's all in your colors with your logo. And then once you've saved that in the system, all you then simply have to do is drag CVs into the platform, and then the platform will take care of it. As you drag the CV in, the CV is going to extract all the data, it's going to parse that CV, and it's going to create a profile for that candidate in your CRM. And then at the same time or simultaneously, it's going to create you the branded version as well. So what you'll end up with is the normal CV alongside the branded CV, and then it's completely up to you which one you send. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through a screen share video where first of all, I'll show you how easy the CV formatting tool is to use once you've got it up and running. So I will drag a CV in so that you can see it populate and how quickly it will generate that branded CV for you. And then once I've done that, I will go into the settings and I will show you how you can set up the format so that you can adjust it. Like when you're inside the platform, you can adjust it so that it fits your brand and you're representing your candidates in the best way possible.
The first thing I wanted to show you is what these CVs can look like. So if I come to this candidate and I go to the formatted CV, you can see here I've created a CV for a fake recruitment company with fake branding that has professional experience, skills, past experience, education, certificates, and a little footer at the bottom. And to download that, you simply click download branded CV. It will create the PDF, and you can obviously then send that on to, there you go. So that's what it looks like when it comes out. To show you how this is created, what I'll do is I will drop a CV into the platform. So I go create candidate. I have a fake CV that I've made with my details on it. And what the system is doing now is it will be extracting the data from that CV. And you'll see, there you go. So it's actually spotted that I've already got this candidate in my database. That's our duplication checker. And you'll see that it's pulled through my name, email address, role title, some key skills, etc., etc. If I then click create, what it's done is it's added that CV into the platform for me. So if I go to CV, you'll see here, this is the CV that I've just parsed into the system. And then I've got the formatted version here where it's broken it down into like a professional summary. It's pulled my skills through, experience and everything like that. And what you can then do from here is you can write a note on it. So if you wanted to write to the client, this is a candidate we're representing that is looking for, I'll just say £50,000, right? So you can put in there bullet points of what it is that you want your client to be aware of the candidate. And if you want to change any of these sections, you can go into the info screen and you can change all of the experience and stuff here in these boxes. So you can edit all of that text, edit the dates on here, edit the role titles, add any new past experience in. So just to test it, I'll just say Luke test like that. And if I save that, it should come back here. And there you go, Luke test has just been added in the past experience. So you've got the ability to edit all of this text that it's pulled through for you. And from the left-hand side here, you can change the layout as well. So if you don't want the full name on it, you can take the full name off and it gives you the candidate ID. It leaves that there. So if you send that CV out and somebody replies to say they're interested, you can just chuck the candidate ID in. It's going to bring you up the right candidate. You might say that skills, for example, you don't want that to feature. You just want past experience. So it's pretty customizable. Like if you want the icons gone as well, you can just untick there. That gets rid of, say, like the header icons, footer icons, and body icons, right? So there you go. So that's got rid of, say, all of the icons on the CV if you wanted to get rid of those as well. So it is pretty customizable. And like when you're ready, you can just click download CV, or you can go as well and save a redacted version. So you can have, this is the version that we send to clients that we are kind of currently engaged with, and this is one that we might use for speccing out CVs. You'll see that it automatically takes kind of some of the details off. But again, you can leave the candidate ID on there if you want to, so that you know that you can find that candidate again. Okay, so to show you the process of how I created the format, so you can see how you would do the same thing in your brand, I've created a new account here with the same CV that we've used already. However, this time, this is what you will see when you first open up an account with us. I'll now run you through how you turn this into kind of what you've seen already. So the place to start is you go to Styles. It will say you've got the option to customize. If you click on the customize, it takes you through to the settings screen here where you can start to adjust the bits and pieces. If I go up to settings up here, you can also reach it by customization and formatted CV. Brings you to the exactly same place. The first thing I'll point out is the header. You've got a few options here, or the layout. You've got a few options of how you want the CV to sit, whether you want it to be a simple header, whether you want like the details of the candidate up here as well. You can kind of decide which way you want to go. Then to add the image in here, you'll see that when I'm hovering over this section, I've got the little pencil. So this is where I then go to add my company logo. So it will bring you to the company settings where you can add your logo into the box here. So once you've saved your logo in, you can then go back to customization and formatted CV. It brings you back here. We've obviously now got our logo in, but we need to now start tweaking the other bits and pieces. So what I'll do is I'll kind of work my way down and run you through every single customization you've got here. So the first one, header options. You've got the ability to show the company name or remove the company name from there. It's completely up to you actually. Like you might find that you want the company name in here with the candidate details like that. You might like say that's quite nice. You can also move the logo, right? So I could put the logo kind of center like that. Say I want to remove the company name. I could have the icons in there as well. Like if you like these icons, you can keep them. And then you can start to edit all of the colors. Now the best thing is to have your hex color codes written down. I find mine through Canva. If you've got somebody to design the brand for you, they'll have those. So there you go. You can click that. That's pretty close from a color perspective. The other one that I like is the bottom border. So you can put a little border on it, like in your secondary color. So in this case, it looks like this. I don't know if that's a 5 or an S written down. There you go. So that is done, a bottom border blue, but you can make it that little bit bigger. I can obviously flick through as well and see which one do I like. You might say it might be layout 1 that you want to go for. You might want to move the logo to the left. You can make the logo bigger as well. So you can muck around with the sizes. You can have it left, you can have it center, you can have it right. And this one, I'll just go to do something slightly different. I'll put it in the middle like that. Once you've done that header section, you can then move on to the candidate info. Again, fairly straightforward. So you're now editing the candidate's info. You can decide what you want to be on the CV by just clicking. You might want the candidate ID in there, just juggling the bits and pieces around. Again, you can move, you can center everything. You can move things left and right. You can decide on the size of the text. You can decide on whether you want it bold or whether you want it normal. So again, that's all fairly straightforward. You can play with that yourself. So for then move on to the next section, which is icons. I've already changed the blue in here, as you'll see. You can decide with the icons we're looking at if I click hide or show. Some people like these icons, some people don't. You can change whether they're square, circle, or round. I think for me, I like the rounded. Again, you can kind of decide on sizes, so you can make them a little bit smaller if you feel like they look a bit more professional if they're smaller. And you can change the color of the icon as well as the box. So I'll leave those ones like that. Skills and tags, very similar here. So you've got the tags. The tags are what you've tagged the candidate. You might actually say that you don't want the tags, your internal tags, to be on the CV. So you might want to hide it like that. Skills, the same thing here. These are the skills that are picked up that are put in the candidate screen on the info side. And again, you can change the colors and bits and pieces. You might decide actually you don't want them to be in a pill, so you could have the text like that, and you could just have the skills as text if you wanted. For this example, I will make them into pills. So I'll turn the text white and I'll turn it back so it's blue like that. Again, you can change all of the texts and the bolds and bits and pieces. Titles, title option, again, fairly straightforward. You've got the color of the titles, the font size, and whether it's bold, and the text and bits and pieces. The title border I quite like is this one here. So again, I like putting it in the secondary color like that, so that you've got the title border in there. Again, if you wanted to get rid of that and say none, you can get rid of that. You can keep it as solid. You can have dashed. So there's quite a lot of options for you there. You might say that looks quite nice. Text options, fairly straightforward. So section options are also quite good. So if I go here and if I change this to solid, you'll see that it puts a line in. You might actually say that you want to get rid of the title border, so that one there, and you might decide that you want it as sections. So if I go into sections and I put in the secondary color, you'll see that we now have the blue lines breaking up, and you might say that you prefer that. I am going to jump ahead quickly and say that in box options, these boxes around here can also be removed. So if I go none there, with the section option that I've just put in of that, I think that looks quite smart. Then jump back to the sections because it's quite important. You can also juggle the order of the sections. So you see here in this example, it's recruiter note, professional summary, skills, tags. We could say, actually, I want skills to be under recruiter note. So you can drag that to the top. The professional summary sits under. You might say that you want the tags, but you want them right at the bottom. So they then sit at the bottom like that. So you can drag that and organize that so that the structure is exactly how you want it as well. The date wrappers, these little bits here, again, I won't go through it, but you can change the colors of the text. You can change the colors of the box. So if you did want to get rid of the gray box, you could do, and you can put that in your own colors as well. The box options I've kind of touched briefly. Again, if I put them back, they are what sits around those sections. Again, you can change the colors and the thickness and all the bits and pieces. The titles, you can change the title colors, and then you come to footer. And to be fair, the footer is very similar to the header in the sense that you can have the company name, you can hide it or you can include it. You can include icons or not, contact number, email address. Again, you just decide. So for this one, what I've done is I've just copied the header. I've done the blue background with the light blue icons, light blue border, and copied it exactly the same. Once you've got it to a place that you like it, you just have to hit save CV settings, and then you can download a preview. So you hit download preview, it will drop that into your downloads, and there you go. You can take a look at what it looks like, how it's going to come out. And once you've saved that, once you've got this to the point where you're happy with it and you've saved it, it will then rinse and repeat on every single CV. So every single CV will look identical. You'll only have to add the recruiter note and adjust the text in there. And it's kind of done. You're good to go.